This webinar is organized for all main board listed entities to provide guidance on the financial results in accordance with Regulation 33 of the SEBI Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2015, along with relevant SEBI master circulars, exchange circulars, and guidelines issued by the exchange from time to time. Objective of the webinar: many main board companies have been facing several challenges and operational queries while filing financial results with the stock exchange, particularly after the introduction of integrated filing financial by the exchange. This webinar aims to simplify the filing process and enhance compliance awareness for all main board listed companies. This session will cover process for filing the outcome of board meeting, financial results in PDF format on the NEEPS portal, process for preparing and uploading the integrated filing financial in XBRL utility on the NEEPS portal, process for filing annual report in brief. Further, the company may raise their queries using Q&A tab instead of chat box. The same will be addressed during Q&A session. Thank you everyone for joining. Now I'll hand over to Miss Preeta Dravid to take over this session.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Rima. My name is Preeta Dravid. I am from Listing Compliance Department, Financial Results Team at C. I will be explaining the process of submission of financial results by mainboard companies. The companies are requested to refer to the applicable regulation and circular while preparing the financial results and before submitting the same with the exchange, namely Regulation 33 of SEBI LODR regulation, Master Circular issued by the SEBI, and circular and FAQ issued by the exchange from time to time. Now we will proceed with the process of filing financial results. As per the process, company shall intimate the exchange with respect to board meeting of approval financial results. Once the financial results are approved in board meeting, the company shall submit the outcome of board meeting PDF within 30 minutes or 3 hours from the end of the board meeting as may be applicable. Subsequently, the company shall submit the integrated filing financial results in XBRL on the same day of submission of outcome of board meeting in which the financial results are approved. Before I take you through the process for submission of financial results in PDF on NEEPS portal, there are certain mandatory details and documents which need to be considered while preparing and during the submission of financial results. The listed entity shall ensure to attach the mandatory documents as applicable in PDF file. The listed entity shall ensure the financial results in PDF form are submitted on NEEPS portal within 30 minutes or 3 hours as may be applicable from the end of board meeting. The profit and loss account statement and statement of asset and liability, cash flow statement shall be submitted on standalone and consolidated basis as may be applicable. The auditor report and limited review report for standalone and consolidated financial results as applicable must be signed by the auditor and must include the UDIN, and the date and place of sign should be mentioned. The statement on impact of audit qualification for the audit report with modified case of unmodified opinion while disclosing the annual audit financial results. The listed entity operating in the single segment must disclose the single segment details in the note section of their financial results. The listed entity shall also disclose the balancing figure note under the note section of financial results submitted for the last quarter. The financial results are required to submit in machine readable format and legible. The company shall ensure not to submit blur copy of financial results. The financial results must be signed by authorized signatory and should include the name, designation, and DIN. Now we will proceed with the submission of outcome of board meeting in PDF. Upon login in the NEEPS portal, the company shall select on compliance, then click on create announcement corporate action under the announcement corporate action. Then company shall select on intimation type as announcement, And next, the type of disclosure as Regulation 30, Para A from the drop-down list. Further, the subject category and subject select as outcome of board meeting. Then company shall select the type as financial results. Kindly note that this selection is mandatory in case of outcome of board meeting contains financial results. Then company shall fill the mandatory details such as meeting date, whether the event information disclosed in meeting of outcome of board meeting, date of occurrence of event, time of occurrence of event is board meeting end time, and type of announcement as new. Then company can attach the file in PDF form in machine readable format along with all the disclosure as may applicable. Further, company can scroll down to file all the mandatory details like board meeting start date, board meeting start time, board meeting end time in 24 hours format. Then all the main board listed company shall select the period type as first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter from the drop down list. Then select the quarter and date. The search tool below can be used to make the appropriate selection of the quarter and date. Further, select the type stand or consolidated or standalone and consolidated from the drop-down list as may be applicable. The auditor report type can be a limited report or auditor report from the drop-down list as may be applicable. Company are requested to note that the financial year from and financial year to will be auto-populate depending on quarter and date selected. The company needs to then mention a board meeting date and board meeting end time in 24 hours format. Now we will proceed with the large corporate disclosure. While submitting the outcome of board meeting in PDF for financial results for period type as fourth quarter, there is a mandatory field that is whether the listed entity is scheduled commercial bank. This disclosure is mandatory for large corporate in case of fourth quarter submission. Here the company shall make the adequate selection as per the applicability, that is yes or no. If company select yes, then no detail shall be required to provide. But if the company select no, then the below mentioned field be unable, wherein company has to fill in the detail such as outstanding long-term borrowing at the end and start of financial year, highest credit rating of the company, incremental borrowing done during the year, and borrowing by way of issuance of debt security during the year. All the figures mentioned here are required to provide in crores. Further, for the field, whether the listed entity has any subsidiaries, associate, joint ventures, the company shall select yes or no from the drop-down list. Here, the company shall make the adequate selection as per the applicabilities. If company select no, the company shall then mention in that note section of the financial results that company does not have any subsidiaries, associate, joint ventures for the respective period. Kindly note, in case of company has subsidiaries, associate, joint ventures, or has excluded any such company from the respective period, and yes is selected, then the detailed reason shall be provided under the field reason for non-submission of consolidated financial results. Further, the reason for non-submission of financial results of consolidated financial results shall be provided under the note section of standalone financial results. The company can refer to the FAQs issued by the exchange for the future clarity. Now we will proceed ahead with the submission of outcome of board meeting in PDF. Once all the mandatory details are filled, the PDF file is attached. The company can save the draft and proceed ahead with the submission. On the successful submission, company will get such notifications. The company are requested to check the announcement created on NSE website and check if the PDF is attached, includes all the required document and information as mentioned earlier. We conclude the process of submission of financial results in PDF form. Now I would like you to take through the process in case of revision or delay in submission of financial results. The submission financial results in update tab on NEEPS portal. In case the company has inadvertently missed out any of his or has not submitted any documents as applicable while uploading the financial results under outcome of board meeting financial results path, please refers to the path display on the screen under the revision of financial results. The next, the disclosure of reason for delay in submission of financial results. Further, in case of company does not submit the financial results in accordance to the timeline specified under Regulation 33 of LODR, the company shall disclose the detailed reason for such delay to the stock exchange within 1 working day of the due date of submission of financial results as required under the regulation. Please refer to the path display on the screen under the reason for delay in submission of financial results, or if the decision of delay the results was taken by the company prior to the due date, the company shall disclose the detailed reason for such delay to the stock exchange within 1 working day of such decision on the path mentioned on the screen. Please refer to the reason for delay in submission path. Kindly note, company are requested to file first outcome of board meeting in PDF, then proceed with the filing of XBRL for the same. Now we will proceed to the next slide. Before I take you through the process of filling the integrated filing financial XBRL utility, we need to consider certain essential integrated filing financial XBRL utility on NIPS portal. First, the company shall download the fresh and correct utility as on date of the submission of XBRL. Company shall not copy paste the data into a Excel sheet as this may corrupt the file and prevent the validation. The level of rounding off should be selected with the correct denomination and ensure all the financial results in the XBRL utility are filled with the same denomination except the detail related to earning per share, face value and ratio and percentage. The integrated filing financial XBRL shall be submitted on the NIPS portal on the same day as the board meeting in which the financial are approved. The company must ensure that the reporting type and quarter and type of submission, standalone and consolidated, are selected correctly. While entering the details of any other line items which do not have a specific field in the utility, the company shall mention the name and bifurcation of the amount as provided in the PDF submission. Further, there are additional detail or line item required to be provided in the XBRL which do not have specified field in the utility. The details can be provided in the notes section of relevant sheet. While submitting the revised XBRL, the company is required to provide a detailed explanation of revision in revision remarks section. Are advised to download and submit the latest utility as may be applicable on the date of revised submission. Now we will go forward with the next slide. That is part to download the XBRL. The companies have option to download the integrated filing XBRL utility from the several paths. Company can download the XBRL from the NSE website on the path displayed, and company will have a multiple XBRL utility options wherein the company shall make the appropriate selection as per the applicability. The other option to download the utility is from NIPS. The company can either click on download XBRL utility or click on common XBRL utility option. Once Once the company click on the download XBRL utility tab, the company will have a multiple XBRL utility option where the company shall make the appropriate selection as per the applicability. That is integrated filing index, integrated filing non-index, integrated filing banking, etc. If the company wants to download the XBRL from the common XBRL tab, the same can be done by selecting the appropriate field and result type and download the utility. Depending on result type, the type of utility will appear and can download the utility. Once we have downloaded the utility, we will now move to filling the XBRL utility. Here I will be explaining the general info sheet in detail. Once we open the utility, the company needs to fill all the mandatory detail like script code, NSE symbol, MSCI symbol, ISIN, and company name and type of company. Under the type of company have a drop down as main board and SME. Then class of security and start date and date of financial year as on in general sheet. Then company are requested to fill all the correct details. Then moving forward, companies should also note once we click on any particular field, the pop-up box will hover the field over the field, which will assist the company in entering the required data and information. While selecting while selecting the level of round off from the drop-down list, the values in lakhs, millions, billions, and crores, the listed entity shall ensure that the values mentioned therein are in specified denomination. All, then we'll proceed with the report type. All the mainboard companies shall select the report type as quarterly and reporting quarter as first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Shall ensure that reporting type and quarter are same at all the three place. That is, while submitting the PDF, while filling the Excel utility, and while submitting the XML file on the NIPS portal. Companies are required to submit the standalone and consolidated XBRL separately in case of applicability. Companies need to note that the RPT field will be unable if the nature is selected as standalone and the reporting type and quarter are selected as second and fourth quarter. Then the companies are required to make appropriate selection from the drop down list regarding to declaration of unmodified opinion or statement of impact from the drop down. Now with this we can move ahead with the PPT. Meanwhile, in case companies have any query, then they can post in Q&A session, and same will be taken up at the end of the session. So now we will process with the submission of integrated filing financial results in XBRL. So upon login into a NIPS portal, select the tab compliance and click on common XBRL path. Then this screen will be appear. Then then select the module as integrated filing. Then from the drop down and select the integrated type as integrated filing financials. Upon the selection, certain field will be enabled on the screen. From the type of company, there shall be a drop down of mainboard and SME from the drop down list. Moving ahead with the selection of period type, all the mainboard companies shall select the period type as first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. And the search icon below can be used to make the appropriate selection of the quarter and date, and the financial year from and financial year 2 will get auto populate depending on the quarter and date selection. Further, fill all the details like date of start of board meeting, date of end of board meeting, date of start of timing, and board meeting end time in 24 hours format. Then, then company shall select first appropriate type of submission as stand or consolidated from the drop down list. Then select the result type. For integrated filing financial, the company shall make the adequate selection as per the applicability, that is banking, non-banking Indies, non-banking Indies, non-Indies, non-banking, NBFC Indies, life insurance, general insurance. Then company can proceed with the uploading XML file by clicking on upload XBRL file. It is advised to upload the standalone XML file by selecting standalone from the drop-down list. Further, upload the consolidated XML file by selecting the consolidated from drop-down list. Once the file is uploaded successfully, the company shall get such notification that file is uploaded successfully. It has been observed that XML files are being re-uploaded after the file uploads successfully. Please do not attempt to upload the same file again. Please note, if the company face any error while uploading the XBRL, they may connect with the Exchange official for the resolutions. Once the file is uploaded successfully, company shall ensure submission is reflecting correct on the NSE website. In case of revision, submission, the company can submit the revised integrated filing financial XBRL on the same path. The type of submission is auto-populated, wherein the system will detect the original and revision based on whether it is been submitted for the first time or subsequently. Company can refer to the FAQ issued by the exchange for the cases in which the XBRL is required to revise. While submitting the revised XBRL, company is required to provide the detailed explanation of revision in the revision remark section. Furthermore, the company are advised to download and submit the latest utility as may applicable on the date of revised submission. If company face any error while uploading the XBRL, they may connect with the exchange official for the resolution of the same. Once the file is uploaded successfully, company shall ensure that the submission is reflecting correctly on the NSE website. For the company commonly listed on multiple stock exchange, as per the exchange circular dated 2nd January 2026, with respect to single filing system through API-based integration between stock exchanges, the integrated filing financial XBRL field on either exchanges shall flow to the other exchanges. Consequently, the company may not require to file the same at each exchanges. Meanwhile, in case companies have any queries, they can post it on Q&A session and same will be taken up in the end of the session. We will now proceed with the certain timelines for submission of financial results by company as per the LODR and FAQ is issued by the exchange. Submission of financial results by newly listed entity listed through the initial public offer. The applicability as per the regulation 33(3)(j), the listed entity shall subsequently to the listing through the initial public offer shall submit its financial results for the quarter or the financial year immediate succeeding the period for which the financial statement have disclosed in the offer document. The due date of submission will be either 45 days or 60 days from the end of the quarter or within 21 days from the date of listing, whichever is later. There are certain examples issued in the FAQ. We will take one example for the better understanding of the company. We'll take the example of annual and fourth quarter. And take for an instant, if the date of listing is 5th May, then 21 days from the date of listing is 26th May. The the due date as per the regulation 33 is 60 days, is 30th May. So the later of 2, that is 30th May, will be the due date of submission as per the regulation 33(3)(j). Further, company can refer to the example for the better understanding. Now we will proceed with the applicability of submission of quarterly financial results. The company migrated from SME board to main board and company listed through the scheme of arrangement, they are required to submit the quarterly financial results. The due date, if the date of migration or listing falls during the quarter or after the end of the quarter, but on and before the due date of submission, that is within 45 days or 60 days or from the end of the quarter. Now we can with this now we can take one example from this that is first quarter. The date of listing and migration during the quarter is 25th June. Then the company is requested to submit the financial results for the first quarter. In second instant, the date of listing and migration is after the quarter, but within the due date of submission, that is 14 August, that is a due date. Then company is requested to file the financial results for the first quarter. If the date of listing and migration is after the quarter and after the due date of submission, that is 25th August, then company is requested to file the financial results for second quarter. With this, we come to end with respect of compliances requirement for companies pursuant to Regulation 33 of SEBI LODR regulations. Meanwhile, in case companies have any query, can post it on Q&A. The same shall be taken up on the end of the session. We will now proceed with the submission of annual report. The process of submission of annual report, company shall submit the annual report on or before the dispatch date to the shareholders. Then company can upload the annual report PDF under the annual report tab in NIPS portal. And then company shall submit the annual report XBRL under the common XBRL tab in NIPS portal. Then further we'll process to the next slide where I will be explaining the path of PDF, XBRL and ROC extension. For the PDF, company shall submit the annual report PDF with all the required details on the screen, on the path mentioned on the screen, that is NEEPS, compliance, periodic compliance, annual report and annual report submit. And for the XBRL, the company shall submit the annual report XBRL in XBRL mode, that is AOC4 XML file submitted in ROC on the path mentioned on the screen, that is NEEPS, compliance, common XBRL upload and annual report. If the company has received any extension from the ROC for holding the AGM, upload the ROC extension letter on the path mentioned on the screen, that is NEEPS, compliance, announcement, corporate action, and intimation type as announcement, and type of disclosure is others, and subject category is extension of financial results. So, in case company face any query or any doubt regarding to the financial results, they may mark the group ID as for of financial results, that is listingfr@nsc.co.in, and they can also connect with the exchange official numbers that mentioned on the screen. In case of any query regarding to statement of deviation or disclosure of related party transaction, companies can mark the mail to DL listing rpt@nsc.co.in. They can also connect with the exchange officials contact detail mentioned on the screen. Company are requested to refer to all the advisory mail sent by the exchange and comply with the same. Now I will over to the Rima for Q&A session.
Thank you, Preeta. So now we will proceed with the Q&A session. We understand that the companies, like we have answered to major of the queries on the chat box itself, but we'll answer to few of the queries with respect to the large corporate disclosure. So here the queries with respect to the large corporate disclosure, wherein the company has asked, please also explain initial and continuous large corporate disclosures compliances. So here the company is not required to do the initial disclosure. The company is only required to provide the annual disclosure with respect to the large corporate along with the financial results in the PDF, that is in under the outcome of board meeting as mentioned in the earlier sheet earlier as explained by the Preeta, that is in our earlier slide. I would like to again display the same on the screen. Allow me. So, this is the screen where the company can see the large corporate disclosure, wherein the company is required to submit certain details with respect to the large corporate disclosure. So here you can see that is whether the listed entity is a scheduled commercial bank. So here the company which are scheduled commercial bank is required to select the option as no from the drop down list. And if the company selects yes, the company is a scheduled commercial bank, then the company is required to select the option as yes. And if the company selects no from the drop down list, then the below fields will get enabled. So here you can see there are multiple fields with respect to the large corporate disclosure. So first is with respect to the outstanding long-term borrowings at the start of the financial year. So here the company is required the outstanding borrowings which is at the start of the financial year. And the next field is with respect to the outstanding long-term borrowings at the end of the financial year. Here the company is required to provide the disclosure, I mean figures with respect to the borrowings that is at the end of the financial year, and the incremental borrowings during the during the year. Okay, so here the company is required to provide the details with respect to the incremental borrowings, wherein the company might have taken the additional borrowings. So there is an incremental in the borrowing. So that particular additional borrowings that has been done by the company is to be provided in this particular field. And last is with respect to the borrowings by way of issuance of debt securities during the okay, in this case wherein the company is has done, that is a requirement of 25%. So if in case the company has done the borrowings by issuing the debt securities that is up to 25%, the same has to be disclosed over here. The next question is we are not required to file large corporate disclosures separately as explained by you. It will form a part of outcome. Yes. So it will form a part of outcome of board meeting during the submission of financial results in PDF for the fourth quarter. The company is required to submit the large corporate disclosure on the NEEPS portal itself. So the second question is borrowing as per audited or unaudited. So it has to be as per audited. As it is the last quarter, we understand that it is the audited financials, so it has to be done as per the audited financials. The next question is in relation to large corporate disclosure, is there any need to upload PDF also other than details provided on NEEPS portal as suggested by you in presentation? Okay, in this case, the company is required to provide the figures in on the NEEPS portal as mentioned earlier, but the company has an option to also disclose the large corporate details in the PDF along with the financial results. Many companies provide the same under the notes section of the financial results. So you can provide in the PDF as well as, but the mandatory thing is that you have to provide the same on the NEEPS portal. So that is a mandatory, but providing the same in the PDF is voluntary. Our company is not a large corporate. Whether large corporate initial disclosure is required to be submitted every time. So initial large corporate disclosure is not mandatory, but the annual disclosure is mandatory, irrespective of whether the company is a large corporate or the company is has a borrowings which is less than 1,000 crores. The company is mandatory required to provide the details accordingly, wherein if the company has not done any borrowings, the company can mention as zero, and in under the highest rating, the company can mention as not applicable. Next question is XBRL uploading on one exchange will auto-populate on other exchange. Is this applicable for all XBRL or only regarding financial results? So, wherein it is it is single filing process, the same will flow from one exchange to another exchange. But in where there is not an option for single filing process, the company has to file the XBRL on both the exchanges. But here, being particularly with respect to the financial results, the company has to file the XBRL on one exchange, and the same can will be flown to the other exchange. The next question is, can we take one XBRL utility format from one exchange like BSE to upload the on NEEPS portal? Yes. The company can take the XBRL from one exchange and upload the same on the other. So the company has an option to download the utility from either of the exchanges. So I'm assuming we have answered to almost all the queries. For any further queries, the company may write us on listingfr@nac.co.in. We will try to address to your queries at the earliest.